welcome to CBC Family Online Service. It's great to have you with us, and wherever you're watching from, whether it's in this country or overseas, you are more than welcome to join us. Every year, this time of year, we have what we call, as a CBC family, Education Sunday. All this week, we've been praying for our education establishments that have started to get back or are even back now. To pray for the students, the pupils, and to pray for all staff that have having to work really hard to make it easy and safe for our children, both young and not so young, to go back to places of education. And I have the privilege of interviewing Vicky and Kate, who are very much a part of education. And we're just going to have a conversation about the gift of learning. But before we do that, I just want to share a few thoughts that I have. I believe the whole of life is a gift, and I am always a learner. In this season, we are having new things to learn and to deal with. I would rather be an amateur in developing the new way forward that God is leading His church into, and us as church into the community, than a professional in maintaining the old. We will get through this time. I'm absolutely sure of this. And as Isaiah says in chapter 43, these words, he's speaking to his people about his unfailing love and care and the Lord's promise of victory. It says in verse 18 of chapter 43, "But forget all of that. It is nothing compared to what I am going to do. For I am about to do something new. See, I have already begun. Do you not see it? I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create rivers in the dry wasteland. The wild animals in the fields will gather and thank me. The jackals and the owls too, for giving them water in the desert. Yes, I will make rivers in the dry wasteland so my chosen people can be refreshed." We're going to just kickstart into a time of worship. And I want to encourage you, wherever you are, just to fix your gaze upon Him. If you don't know Jesus this morning, then this is an invitation to come and taste and see that He is so good. We, as a family here at CBC, love to worship and just to acknowledge His presence, which we're going to do wherever we are this morning. Thanks a lot, guys.
Mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. I've searched the world, it could not fill me. Man's empty praise and treasures that fade are never enough. Then you came along, put me back together. Every desire is now satisfied here in your love. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing, nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing, nothing is better than you. I'm not afraid. Show you my weakness, my failures and faults. Lord, you've seen them all. You still call me friend. 'Cause the God of the mountain is the God of the valley. There's not a place your mercy and grace won't find me again. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing, nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing, nothing is better than you. You turn mourning to dancing. You gave beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You turn mourning to dancing. You gave beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. Standing here in your presence, in a grace so relentless, I am won by perfect love, wrapped within the arms of heaven, in a peace that lasts forever, sinking deep in mercy's sea. I'm wide awake, drawing close, stirred by grace, and all my heart is yours. All fear removed, I breathe you in, lean into your love. Whoa, 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 your love. When I'm lost, you pursue me. Lift my head to see your glory, Lord of all. So beautiful. Here in you, I find shelter, captivated by the splendor of your face. My secret place, I'm wide awake, drawing close and stirred by grace, and all my heart is yours. All fear removed, I bring you in, I lean into your love. Whoa, whoa, your love so deep is washing over me. Your face is all I seek. You are my everything. And Jesus Christ, you are my one desire. Lord, hear my only cry, to know you all my life. Your love so deep is washing over me. Your face is all I see. You are my everything. And Jesus Christ, you are my one desire. Lord, hear my only cry, to know you all my life. Your love so deep is washing over me. Your face is all I seek. You are my everything. And Jesus Christ, you are my one desire. Lord, hear my only cry, to know you all my life. Your love so deep is washing over me. Your grace is all I seek. You are my everything. In Jesus Christ, you are my one desire. Lord, hear my only cry, to know you all my life. There's no one like you. There's none From you are all things, to you are all things, yes, you deserve the glory.
Hey, thanks. For just leading us into his presence. And I don't know about you, but I've learned what it is just to worship at home. And, you know, I'm learning to what it is to be a worshiper 24/7 with the band helping us. It's amazing. But you know what? Jesus is amazing. And I just love spending time worshiping him, giving him those moments. Well, I'm really privileged on our Education Sunday to welcome Vicky and Kate. To have a conversation about, you know, the gift of learning, the part that they play in education. But you know what? I believe we all have a part to play. And I've, this week, been involved with a school, helping them to just look at what it is to help a school to become very, very safe, but as safe as can be. And you know what? I've got to take it off to members of staff in our local schools and education establishments. They're doing a phenomenal job to welcome students back into this environment. Would you pick up the microphones and just say in a few moments what it is that you do in places of education?
Okay, shall I start?
Vic, yeah, go for it, Kate.
Is it on?
It is.
Okay. I work at Canterbury Christ Church University. I was a primary school teacher, and now I help train the new primary school teachers. So part of my job is just teaching them about what it's going to be like to be in the classroom, and part of the job is going to see them when they're in schools and supporting them there.
That's where I did my teacher training, so I know exactly what it's like to have a mentor like you.
Yes.
Vicky, tell us a little bit about what you do.
I work at Turner Free School. I've been teaching music, RE, and a bit of art and drama this last year, and now I'm moving into teaching just music for the next year.
Wow. And I know that there has been a lot of apprehension, and schools are doing an amazing job, and colleges allowing students to come back. And I know it's not easy, and I know we as a church have been praying for the smooth running, for wisdom and everything that schools may need at this time. But what is the importance for you? What, you know, the gift of learning, what does that mean to you? The whole thing of a learning environment. How about you, Kate?
Okay. Learning is one of the most important things we have, isn't it? It's about helping us to grow, to become somebody better, hopefully, enlightening. So the learning environment for me is always about people, and it's been very hard adapting. And for me, the time of learning about the new IT systems and having to adapt my way of teaching. So we learn with our students. We give them problems to solve, and we talk with them about what they found out as a result of it. Learning is creating something new.
Whole of life is learning as well.
And it often depends on other people to help you to find that way.
I've been to various countries, and I realize those that we're in this country are so blessed in some ways because we have access to education in many, many ways. And I've been to places in East Africa and India where youngsters just long for what we have here. And sometimes when you have something, you don't realize how special it is. But I really believe, I don't know about you, but the gift of learning is a real gift. You know, the opportunity to learn. How's that, the gift of learning? What does that mean to you, Vicky?
I think that gift of learning is something that everyone has. Every child has it. Every scholar that I teach has it. and every member of staff as well. So it's a whole environment, it's a whole community. We're always learning about each other and with each other. And there's been this massive hiatus where nothing's happened for 6 months. It has happened, particularly at Turner Free School. We've had a lot of online learning, and it's gone really, really well. But for children to be together and learn in that community is something very natural that they want to do. And I'm really looking forward to welcoming them back.
Yeah, which will be very soon.
Yes, Thursday. And very different.
Yeah.
It's very different for a little while.
Yeah. Life is a little different, I think, for everyone as well as when in school. But I don't know about you, but I find that students, particularly the younger they are quite adaptable. And
Really
sometimes,
resilient,
us that are a little bit older, we struggle to adapt. But one of the things that my faith has helped me do massively and has played an important part in my attitude towards learning, because I was one of those that really struggled at school, and faith really helped me to have purpose and identity and a really positive attitude to life as well as to the learning environment. And one of the things I've learned is that now I'm firstly an apprentice to Jesus, just to follow in his ways and what Jesus does, because I really believe that Jesus can help students, help staff, and help places of education be all that I believe God created that gift to be in the very first place. You know, just that gift of education and things like that. One of the things is your role within the life of education and things like that. What are some of the hard bits and what are some of the joys about?
Well, what you were talking about just now, about the challenges that you faced when you were learning as a child, I guess, is the self-belief, isn't it? It's for children who don't think, and even student teachers who don't think they can do it, helping them to see that, well, why did you come here? What did you want to do? You do want to do this, you can do this, giving them that ability. That's part of the joy of it as a teacher, definitely. Seeing people grow and gain confidence in what they're doing.
So good.
Yeah.
How about you, Vicky?
Well, the joys the success. And it doesn't matter what that success is. It doesn't matter whether it's somebody passing their A-levels stupendously well or whether it's somebody who just learns to do something for the first time they've always been too scared to do. And it's our job as teachers to find out where everyone is, what success looks like for them, and to help them achieve it. That's why we do it.
Celebrating learning. You know, I believe even our failures are a tremendous opportunity as learning. There's a part of me that feels there's probably no such thing as failure, because even our failures are a tremendous opportunity to learn, even if we're prepared to learn
it's
from
our
them.
job to notice them, pick the kids up,
that's right.
help them be resilient individuals and move on forwards.
So I just want to really just say a big thank you for the part that you play in education. And Canterbury's not that far from here, because some of those teachers will come into this environment where we are here in Cheriton and Folkestone. But as a church, we're going to continue just to pray into that. And I just have a few more thoughts, really, from the book of Proverbs. And King Solomon asked for wisdom out of everything else when God entrusted him with the role that he had in that nation. And he asked for wisdom. And I love what Proverbs 4:23 says. It says, guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. The Sermon on the Mount is what we're going to be looking at over the next few weeks and months as a family here at CBC. You might like to join us for some of those Sundays where we're going to be unpacking when Jesus sat down on the side of a mount and talked the Sermon on the Mount. But he was addressing our heart attitude and our heart response and having a right attitude for life, for learning, and for others, to appreciate others and to appreciate life. The more I've got to know him, the more I've appreciated life and just the every breath that he gives to us. I'm one of these people that want to make the most out of life. And Proverbs 16 verse 16 says, Proverbs chapter 16 verse 16 says that having wisdom and understanding is better than having silver or gold. The Bible refers quite often to God as wisdom. And one of the things we've been praying is real wisdom for families as they're sending their children and the students back into places of education, but also for the staff as well. There'll be no fear. Everybody will play their part to make the environment as safe as possible and that learning continues. One of the things I've learned is always put God first. In Matthew 6:33 it says, above all things in our lives, we should seek God, and everything else will be provided for us. And as important as education it is, it should never come before our relationship with God that actually, I believe, gave the gift of learning for each one of us. My prayer is that you and I will really grab hold, whether we're young, whether we're just going into school or we're in the place of education, is that Jesus said these words in John 10:10, my purpose is to give them a rich and satisfying life. I love what the Greek says, the Zoe, that's what the Zoe is in Greek, from that verse, means a zest for life, from deep within, full joy. I believe Jesus can really help us understand the gift of learning. As a church, we've been praying this week for those in education, staff teams, students, and let's continue to do that in these weeks and months to come. Also, as a church, we've given various schools hampers just to say thank you for what you're doing. I want to leave you a bit of a challenge as we go into our last song and time of worship before we finish today. And during this week, why not ask what it is can you do to actually help encourage those schools around you? Maybe pray. Maybe you've never prayed for the local schools and the students that attend to them. Or why not write an encouraging letter? Why not maybe just write or text or email an encouraging word or two for the staff in the school or the college near where you are? I want to encourage you, hear what God is saying and then communicate that to the place of education. We as a church are really privileged to be involved in a number of ways, particularly with the Turner School. And I remember, Vicky, just before lockdown, we had all the Year 7s here exploring prayer and having prayer workshops right here in this building. And that was the last Friday. I remember having to elbow each other, just say cheerio and things like that. So our prayer and the new build, just tell us very quickly about the new build that's happening in our patch.
Well, if you've driven up the road at all, you'll see it's gone up very, very quickly. And we do know that everything's on course for the new school to be ready Easter 2021.
Wow. That's
So
not
all on schedule.
That's not far. And we just pray for the continued success of that building and everything that's going to go on in it. God bless you. We'll see you next week.
You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working.